On behalf of Michael Kelley, who's our generous benefactor, I'd like to welcome you today to the first of three speakers that we're going to have this year, Mr. Julian. Mr. Michael Kelley, as you become aware of in the last 3 years, is a 1969 alumnus of St. Ignatius. He's an individual who is factually one of the largest growing law firms in Cleveland, and is a generous benefactor to the students of St. Ignatius, not only through this distinguished speakers program, but also to a number of scholarships that he also participates in at this school. Mr. Kelley, his generosity has enabled us to not only host speakers like Lech Walesa, Georgeville, and others. Our students are also the beneficiaries of going to the Town Hall Lecture Series and the Cleveland City Club. If you'd like to know more about how you can get involved with any of these speakers in the future, please see me and Mr. Evans at some point during your free periods or after school. Following today's presentation, there is a Q&A opportunity for all students to participate in. Today we've actually extended the schedule quite a bit compared to previous times to allow for more questions to be asked. If you are interested in asking a question following Mr. Bond's presentation, please form a line to my right. There's a microphone over there. Mr. Kenner will be attending that microphone. Come prepared with the question. We'd gladly try to squeeze you in. For teachers, we will try not at all to interrupt fourth period, because I know fourth period has been a wash for most of these presentations. Thank you. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Milton, who will be presenting our speaker for today.
In a poem entitled Piano, Canadian poet Ignatius wrote, "It only took one light note with a single finger struck by a quiet slave. A single note held for an instant for the diamond clamor of outrages buried in the hollow of black veins to rise up and be released to the still air. The master, not knowing what to do in the face of this tumult, ordered that the piano be shut forever." Part of our school's philosophy is to form young men who will be committed to doing justice. But this is more easily said than done, for as the famous Jean de La Fontaine warned us, the argument of the strongest man always wins. La Fontaine was so bothered about that injustice that he placed his moral at the beginning of his fable instead of at the end. The young innocent lamb, despite his best efforts, his eloquent offense, and his just cause, still falls prey to the ravenous, tyrannical wolf. If we are to live up to our bread and be committed to doing justice, we cannot just focus on the word justice. We must also remember the importance of commitment and of action. In the face of certain adversity and possible failure, will we remain committed to act against injustice? While many may hear a bear's single note, and we can move to even outrage by it, how many of us would dare to reopen the piano and play a few notes more? Our speaker today clearly exemplifies someone who is committed to doing justice, committed to acting against injustice. Mr. Julian has been an active participant in the movements for civil rights and economic justice. As an activist who faced jail for his convictions, as a veteran of more than 20 years in the Georgia General Assembly, as a university professor, and as a writer, he's been on the cutting edge of social change since 1960. While a student at Morehouse College, he was a founder of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. Elected in 1965 to the Georgia House of Representatives, he was prevented from taking his seat by members who objected to his opposition to the Vietnam War. He was re-elected to his own vacant seat, only to be unseated again. He was finally seated only after a third election and a unanimous decision by the United States Supreme Court. In the Georgia Senate, He became the first black chair of the Fulton County delegation and chair of the Consumer Affairs Committee. During his legislative tenure, he was sponsor or co-sponsor for more than 60 bills which became law. He was a commentator on America's Black Forum, the oldest black-owned show in television syndication. His poetry and articles have appeared in numerous publications. He's narrated numerous documentaries, including the award-winning A Time for Justice and the prize-winning and critically acclaimed Eyes on the Prize. He served since 1998 as the chairman of the board of the NAACP, the oldest and largest civil rights organization in the United States. The holder of 21 honorary degrees, he's a distinguished professor at American University and a professor of history at the University of Virginia. We are privileged and honored to present to you this morning Mr. Julian Bond.
Thank you for your warm welcome. It goes without saying, it's a very great pleasure for me to be here today. And I have to tell you that when I received